So, yeah, are you ready for more confusing texts? Well, you're about to. Let's go ahead and speak with Oriange to take on the next level 89 main story quest that at least has some more clarity in the texts. And this quest is entitled Where Knowledge Leads. Something seems to be weighing on Oriange's mind. Ere we join the IA, there is one trifling matter I would fain investigate. Rika, Grahatia, might I trouble you for your assistance? Okay, but of course. My thanks. We shall head outside the abode, if you would kindly follow me. I know not what mischief you are plotting, Oriange, but I trust you have our best interests at heart. The rest of us shall go on ahead to Elegea. Just you worry, we won't start without you. Alright then, let's follow Mr. Oriange and see what he wants us to try and find. Can we thread the needle here? Nope. Nope, not an option. So what are we gonna find as we run across bouncing up and over the sand dunes? I mean, given where we are, you could probably, if the sun was out, you could probably liken this to the Desert of Death in Breath of Fire 3, and oh god! Yeah, that was unfortunate to land right in between two feral enemies. But, hey, we may have lucked into something. We may have found a proper source of fresh water. Ghosts instead of robots. Aye, this place shall serve. Is it the spring that you wish to investigate? Yeah, tell us. Pray forgive me, my friends, but there is naught to investigate. Oriange, what is this? 'Twas but a pretense to speak in private. Well, this isn't private because there's a third person here. Yeah, what are you doing with us, Mikote? You have our undivided attention. Yeah, I guess he's gonna muse on what he's seen. As we have established here in Ultima Thule, those denizens of ruined stars are recreated in their twilight days. Yet one question doth arise in my mind. Well, tell us. So faithfully formed are the Simulacra, they believe themselves yet amongst the living. How dost thou suppose this is possible? I guess you have an answer for us? Mion has taken their hearts onto herself, made contact with them while they still lived, or I couldn't begin to guess. Yeah, it's one of the first two. I'm inclined to agree. If Meteon can take the emotions of others as her own, I dare say she will be able to recreate them more faithfully than had she relied on any historical account. By which logic, she must have visited them while they still lived, the dragons and the Ea both. So too did I theorize, and upon that assumption, consider how those two races may have met their demise. According to thine own tale, Meteon perceiveth the emotions of those nearby as her own. A heightened sense of empathy intrinsic to her nature as an enteleki. In the course of her starfaring journey, if she encountered beings who strongly desired a cessation of their existence, then she would be powerless before that desire. Seems that way. Even as she possesseth the power to grant it, the power of Dynamis. 'Tis my supposition that, overwhelmed by their longing for death, Meteon did unleash Dynamis and usher the dragons and the Ea onto their doom. More tragedy. Of course, such was not always the outcome. Full many stars did she find already lost to ruin. In order to create a terminus, however, the fervent desire for the end is essential. Therefore, should you struggle to find the way forward, pray ask yourselves this: in the place where you stand, whose is the soul that yearneth most desperately for oblivion? As the music stops. Why do you tell us this now? I think I may know. Ne'er again would I betray your trust. This pledge that I did make to my comrades. In bringing thee into my confidence, I would remain true to my word. You're like, you're kidding, right? About what you're about to do? As for thee, let us consider it a fitting reward for the secrets I harbored for the Crystal Exarch. I once placed my faith in thy chosen path, walking at thy side full knowing that we were bound for thy demise. I ask now that thou returnest the favor, and abide in faith as I fulfill mine own destiny. If you say my debt has come due, how am I to refuse? This is awkward. 'Tis indelicate of me, I know full well, and I can but beg thy forgiveness. Yet even if I must needs go to such lengths, I cannot well feign ignorance of the answer I have found within. The answer to the question, in what moment might I stand strongest? Which brings us to now. And we're like, oh, alright. After all we've been through, I will say only this. Do what you must. Do what you must and see your conviction through. I shall, my friend. I shall. Yeah, here's Oriange making his peace. Without further ado, then, let us go to join our comrades. And there goes Oriange post-deathbed confession. And Graha has nothing to say. Let us all be off to Elegea. Yeah, we better get at it. Also, I'm sure that a lake like this is definitely a buzzkill. Yeah, at least cut our journey somewhat. Yeah, here's where everyone is. And Oriange and Graha have returned to the pack. Is everyone accounted for? Shall we then?
Please continue. Tell us about this truth you discovered.
Very well. Bear in mind, however, that the purpose of this conversation is not to impart scholarly knowledge, for such requires that you comprehend the subject matter, which you will not.
Also, I was not expecting that voice.
We will forego the intricacies of our scientific methodology and deal only with the conclusion, the end of our society and our world. We acknowledge, with regret, that your star is in the midst of the same panic-induced cataclysm that befell Deneb 3. As such, in order to avoid causing undue distress, we will refrain from explicitly stating how much time you have remaining.
Wow, really? That's how you're going about this? And how do you even know?
You're entirely too kind. I pray you recount your tale as you see fit.
Also, you're entirely too kind? I don't think this is all that kind. Yeah, pop your head off again.
In the beginning, The universe was but a tiny particle. Then suddenly, this particle began to expand.
In other words, the Big Bang Theory.
Having remained entirely in the bounds of your star, the phenomenon may be difficult for your kind to grasp. But this expansion has since continued unabated. Speculating that the universe could not grow indefinitely, we sought to learn what might occur, and made a worrying discovery.
What did you find?
The stars will continue to spread apart, as will their finite thermal energies. Eventually, all heavenly bodies will grow cold and freeze. No new stars will be born, and the universe will enter into an eternal ice age.
Ugh. I mean, I do love winter, but I don't think anyone wants that.
In hopes of proving that this determination was erroneous, we scrutinized our research from all angles, even as we sought to avert the everlasting winter. The endeavor proved fruitless. So infamously so, in fact, that it became synonymous with vain effort. The universe as we know it would end, and there is no way to prevent it.
But what if we found a way?
Beneath the weight of this knowledge, our society stagnated. Though we had time still, it was a cold comfort.
Yeah, they're actually using puns. That's quite impressive.
Why strive for anything when desolation is assured? When our wealth of wisdom, accumulated since the dawning of our kind, would be forever lost. No civilization would rise from our ashes. No scholar recover our knowledge. In silence unbroken, naught would stir. Intellect was once our pride. Overnight, it became our shame. Our works, monuments to futility. Immortality, our greatest invention, became a source of suffering. Rather than suffer on, many chose to unmake themselves by means of etheric exsanguinators.
Yeah, there's your problem right there. You wanted to be immortal, and now you're suffering because of it.
Etched upon these stones are the testaments of such souls. Though many left no words at all, thinking it a pointless gesture. Once we have obtained vessels of flesh, we likewise intend to vanish.
Hopefully you're not going to use us, right?
If you understand this, understand aught of our tale, you will abandon your quest for knowledge.
Yeah, the music has stopped, and it seems clear that they want to use us.
Ignorance truly is bliss. If you would cling to your illusory happiness, remain primitive and pure. It is the only way.
How about no? Yeah, she's pissed.
So that's your story.
And they're sticking to it.
While I appreciate your advice, I will not heed it. Convinced though you may be of this truth, it is yours and not mine. Indeed, truth, I have ever believed, is in the eye of the beholder.
Are you suggesting that we have reached a faulty conclusion? That our science failed us?
What's with the Asian theme?
Hardly. As you yourself said, the subject matter is beyond my comprehension. And that, I accept, is true. I do not possess the knowledge to prove or disprove your conclusion. In my mortal years, I doubt I could even approach the wisdom of the Air. But of one thing am I absolutely certain. I would not be happier in ignorance.
Hey, Oriange, I thought you wanted to go next.
Y'shtola, no! You mustn't!
Yeah, and Oriange's like, okay, I'll wait for the next
The
round.
most important lesson I've learned is that learning isn't simply passing one's eyes over words. Nay, 'tis when understood for oneself that knowledge attains its true value. This is what has sustained me, driven me onward in joy and wonder, in anger and sorrow.
And now,
The universe may end, and all may be for naught. But I will live as I always have. I will always seek out new knowledge. And no conclusion of yours, no matter how grim, can dampen my desire.
what do you see to that?
I suppose it is only to be expected. Their feeble minds cannot fathom the terrifying gravity of it all.
Yeah, we pissed them off. Or more specifically, she pissed them off.
But worry not. We consider it our duty to enlighten you. And we will not stop until you grasp the full extent of our despair.
Yeah, so now they all separate their heads, turn into the Blackbird of Doom. And now, Y'shtola goes for a ride in a tornado.
Keep calm and listen well. Though my body will soon dissipate, there may be a way to restore it.
Tell us before you go.
Azim's magic. So long as our souls remain, you can use it to summon us back.
I can? Yeah, Rika's like, what?
But you mustn't, for it would mean losing our way forward. This I only reveal so that you can promise not to invoke the magic. We came here knowing what victory may cost, so press on. Press on, and do not look back.
You're like, oh man. Yeah, stare at the birdie. Watch the little birdie, Y'shtola.
I shall join thee. As subterfuge is not required, thou shalt not suffer for mine absence.
Oriange.
Yeah, he was the one who wanted to go first,
My
but
resolve hath never been as strong as thine. Full oft have I wavered in my decisions, and afterwards been stricken with regret. In spite of this, I may still stand with my comrades, supporting them as they attempt the greatest of feats. This truth I have learned in the course of our journey. And many though my shortcomings may be, I may also claim to excel in prophecies. My studies, into which have granted me the flexibility of mind needed to bend this malleable reality.
yeah, we're both content.
Thus shall I hope that thou mayest have the strength to resist, and our comrades the strength to continue.
With you to urge us on, how could we possibly fail?
Well, at least Y'shtola's given us an idea of what we can do, but we're about to lose not one, but two. As they end up getting themselves swept in by the tornado, and now it's gone. And then there were three. Who will be next? Meanwhile, a new path is available.
What's this? An extinguished civilization. Rekindled?
Yeah, and also, Medion, you're not helping. Hi.
That's right. Our quest doesn't end here. We'll press on, and we will find you.
There. That's where you'll find me.
Oh, it's right above us? Why didn't you say that in the first place?
Is that another star?
Of the stars we visited, most were already devoid of life. And where there was life still, the inhabitants wished for death. But even death, we learned, isn't truly the end. It is but a part of the cycle of rebirth. Souls return to the star, or in its absence, a larger flow. And eventually they are reborn, alive again, to know suffering anew.
You can actually crack a smile?
True salvation lies not in dying. It lies in not being born.
I know a particular group of people who would definitely appreciate a line like that.
This is the gift I would give to you. To all life on beautiful Aetheris. To that end, we created an egg wherein life cannot quicken. That dead sun.
And also that's supposed to be a sun?
Attain it if you can. Before your friend's emotions fade away. Along with their protection.
She's gritting her teeth. Only then to... Yeah, so that's where we gotta go. But the big question is, are we gonna be all alone by the time it's all said and done? Let's take our experience and 909 gil.